What if I told you that one of the most controversial topics in exercise physiology has been hiding in plain sight in every medical textbook for decades? You've heard people claim sex is exercise, but here's what shocked me when I dove deep into the medical literature. The truth is far more complex and surprising than anyone is telling you. I'm Dr. Kelvin, and today we're going to examine actual peer-reviewed research from the New England Journal of Medicine, Mayo Clinic proceedings, and data from the American College of Sports Medicine that will completely change how you think about this topic. Fair warning, some of what I'm about to show you contradicts popular fitness advice you've been hearing for years. So if you're someone who values evidence over opinion, hit that like button because we're about to dive into the medical facts that most fitness influencers won't tell you. Why this medical question matters. Before we get into the controversial research, let me explain why this matters from a clinical perspective. According to the Journal of the American Medical Association, only 23% of Americans meet the CDC's minimum exercise guidelines. That's a public health crisis. At the same time, research published in Archives of Sexual Behavior shows that intimate activity occurs more frequently than gym visits for most adults. So the question becomes medically relevant. Can intimate activity contribute to the physical activity recommendations established by major health organizations? This isn't just academic curiosity. The implications affect cardiovascular disease prevention, leading cause of death globally, WHO, mental health outcomes, referenced in DSM-5 diagnostic criteria, hormonal regulation, documented in Williams' textbook of endocrinology, overall mortality risk, meta-analyses in The Lancet. Here's the medical reality. If intimate activity truly counts as exercise, it could revolutionize how we approach public health recommendations. But if it doesn't, we're potentially misleading millions of people about their actual activity levels. Medical definition: what actually counts as exercise? Let's establish the medical standard using authoritative sources. According to ACSM's Guidelines for Exercise Testing and Prescription, 12th edition, exercise must meet specific physiological criteria. 1. Metabolic equivalent, MET, requirements. Light activity, 1.6 to 3.0 METs. Moderate activity, 3.0 to 60 METs. Vigorous activity, greater than 6.0 METs. 2. Heart rate response. Moderate intensity, 64 to 76% of maximum heart rate. Vigorous intensity, 77 to 95% of maximum heart rate. 3. Duration standards. WHO guidelines, minimum 150 minutes moderate or 75 minutes vigorous per week. American Heart Association, session should last at least 10 minutes continuously. But here's where it gets interesting. The Compendium of Physical Activities, updated 2011, the gold standard reference used by exercise physiologists worldwide, actually includes intimate activity with a MET value assignment. Most fitness influencers don't know this exists. The research that shocked exercise scientists. Now let's examine the actual peer-reviewed data that most people have never seen. Study number 1, University of Montreal, 2013, published in PLOS One, prestigious open-access journal. 21 heterosexual couples, average age 22, used SenseWear armbands, medical-grade metabolic monitors. Surprising finding, average energy expenditure was 101 calories for men, 69 calories for women. Average session duration 25 minutes. Study number 2, University of Quebec Research, 2013. Same research team, published in Archives of Sexual Behavior, compared intimate activity directly to 30 minutes of moderate intensity treadmill exercise. Shocking result, energy expenditure was approximately 1/3 of treadmill exercise. But heart rate responses were in the light to moderate exercise range. Study number 3, Harvard T.H. Chance School of Public Health, 2018. Longitudinal study following 1,165 participants over 25 years, published in American Journal of Cardiology. Key finding, regular intimate activity associated with 13% reduction in cardiovascular disease risk. Important note, this was independent of traditional exercise habits. What does this mean? The research is more nuanced than simple yes or no. The physiology, what actually happens in your body. Let me walk you through the actual physiological mechanisms, referenced from Guyton and Hall Textbook of Medical Physiology, 13th edition. Cardiovascular response. Heart rate typically increases to 120 to 150 BPM, documented in Journal of Sex Research. Blood pressure. Systolic can rise 30 to 80 millimeters Hg, normal exercise response. Cardiac output increases 2 to 3-fold during peak arousal. Hormonal cascade. Williams' textbook of endocrinology. Oxytocin, released from posterior pituitary, promotes pair bonding. Endorphins. Beta endorphin levels can increase 200%, comparable to moderate exercise. DHEA increases significantly, anti-aging hormone. Cortisol actually decreases post-activity, stress reduction. Muscular engagement, Anatomy and Physiology by Tora and Derrickson.
Core muscles, rectus abdominis, transverse abdominis, actively engaged. Glutes, gluteus maximus activation, comparable to squats. Cardiovascular muscles, sustained rhythmic contraction. The surprising medical fact, the hormonal profile is actually superior to traditional exercise for stress management and bonding. The calorie burn reality check. Here's where we need to be brutally honest about the numbers. Average calorie expenditure compiled from multiple studies. Men, 4.2 calories per minute. Women, 3.1 calories per minute. Average session duration, 5.4 minutes. American couples, archives of sexual behavior. Reality check, that's approximately 25 to 30 total calories for average sessions. For comparison, compendium of physical activities, brisk walking, 3.5 miles per hour, 280 calories per hour. Moderate cycling, 480 calories per hour. Swimming laps, 360 calories per hour. But wait, there's a critical detail most studies miss. Extended duration sessions, 20 plus minutes. Energy expenditure jumps to 150 to 250 calories. Heart rate sustained in moderate exercise zone. Met values reach 4.5 to 5.2, moderate exercise range. The medical conclusion, duration dramatically changes the exercise classification. Based on my analysis of the literature, here are the specific conditions where intimate activity meets medical exercise standards. Scenario 1, extended duration greater than 20 minutes continuous. Met value, 4.5 to 5.2, moderate exercise. Heart rate, 65 to 75% maximum. Calorie burn, 150 to 250 calories. Medical classification, legitimate moderate exercise. Scenario 2, high-intensity variations. Research from Journal of Sexual Medicine, certain positions require significantly more energy. Core engagement, comparable to planks or Pilates. Met values can reach 6.0, vigorous exercise category. Scenario 3, frequency factor. Longitudinal studies, 3+ times per week shows measurable fitness improvements. Cardiovascular adaptation, resting heart rate improvements documented. VO2 max, modest improvements in sedentary individuals. Clinical bottom line, under specific conditions, intimate activity can legitimately contribute to weekly exercise totals according to ACSM guidelines. The hidden health benefits medical school taught me. Here's what surprised me most in my clinical training, the non-exercise benefits that are medically documented. Neurological benefits, principles of neuroscience by Kandel. Neuroplasticity, enhanced brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF. Pain relief, endorphin release provides 60+ minutes of natural analgesia. Sleep improvement, documented increase in deep sleep stages. Immune system enhancement, Janeway's immunology. IgA antibodies, increased by 30%, first-line immune defense. Natural killer cells, enhanced activity for 24 to 48 hours. Inflammation markers, C-reactive protein decreases significantly. Hormonal optimization, clinical studies. Testosterone, both partners show increases, yes, even women. Growth hormone, pulses during deep sleep are enhanced. Prolactin, contributes to relationship satisfaction and bonding. Cardiovascular protection, research from American Heart Journal, regular activity associated with 45% lower heart attack risk in men over 50. Blood pressure, average reduction of 5 to 7 millimeters in hypertensive individuals. These benefits often exceed what you get from traditional exercise alone. Medical myths versus facts, what the research really shows. Let me debunk some dangerous myths using peer-reviewed evidence. Myth 1, sweating means you're exercising. Medical fact, Exercise Physiology by McArdle shows sweating correlates with temperature regulation, not exercise intensity. You can sweat from anxiety, heat, or spicy food. Myth 2, intimate activity can replace gym workouts. Medical fact, ACSM position stand clearly states that exercise requires progressive overload, resistance training, and cardiovascular conditioning that intimate activity cannot provide. Myth 3, duration doesn't matter. Medical fact, WHO guidelines specifically require sustained activity. Brief sessions don't trigger the physiological adaptations needed for health benefits. Myth 4, it's only good for cardio. Medical fact, research in Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research shows significant core strength improvements and isometric muscle conditioning. Myth 5, fitness level doesn't affect intimacy. Medical fact, Journal of Sexual Medicine published data showing cardiovascular fitness directly correlates with satisfaction, stamina, and overall sexual health. The medical professional's recommendation. As a practicing physician, here's my evidence-based guidance. For sedentary individuals, intimate activity can serve as an entry point to increased physical activity. Should be combined with structured exercise progression. Focus on duration extension. Aim for 20+ minute sessions. For active individuals, consider it supplemental to, not replacement for, regular exercise. Can contribute to weekly activity totals when sustained. Excellent for recovery and stress management. Medical integration approach. Track it. Use fitness monitors to measure actual intensity. Progress it. Like any exercise, aim for gradual improvement. Combine it. Integrate with resistance training and cardiovascular exercise. Monitor it. Pay attention to heart rate and duration. Clinical red flags to discuss with your doctor. Chest pain or shortness of breath, dizziness or lightheadedness, joint pain or physical discomfort, inability to achieve moderate heart rate response. The bottom line, best health outcomes come from a comprehensive approach, including traditional exercise, strength training, and healthy intimate relationships. Call to action. Here's what I want you to take away from this evidence-based analysis. The medical truth, intimate activity can legitimately contribute to your physical activity goals under specific conditions, but it works best as part of a comprehensive fitness approach. If this video changed your understanding of exercise science, like this video to support evidence-based medical content. Share it with someone who needs the facts, not the myths. Subscribe and ring that notification bell for weekly medical deep dives you won't find anywhere else. Coming up on this channel, the shocking truth about muscle building after 40, new research from Journal of Gerontology, why your doctor is wrong about cholesterol, latest New England Journal of Medicine findings, the exercise that prevents 80% of back pain, based on Spine Journal meta-analysis. Remember, good health starts with good information, and good information comes from medical research, not social media trends. Drop a comment below. What health myth do you want me to investigate next using actual medical literature? Because when it comes to your health, you deserve the truth backed by science. Subscribe for evidence-based medical content, your health backed by science.